All right, test 1 2 3, test 1 2 3. Let me just make sure that signal is coming in, and there we go. We are good to go here. All right, everybody. Hope you guys are all having a good day. As normal over the past few weeks, Bitcoin obviously is not having that that exciting day here, you might say. But since it's Sunday, it's a member stream day. We're going to be digging into a lot of the different stuff here as far as Bitcoin, other cryptocurrencies, and stuff like that. That way, we can just kind of chill and have a good time here. As bad as today looks, it'll probably get worse, to be honest, so let's just get that out of the way now. We'll look to see some of those key support levels, and then from there we'll be moving on just a little bit, okay? So, thanks for joining, everybody. This is the first member stream I've had in quite a bit of time here, so I just appreciate you guys showing up and whatnot. And this is kind of more of an in-depth thing where we kind of focus on more than just your typical crypto and stock stuff, but we can kind of dig deep and a little bit more, have more deeper conversations about whatever you guys want to talk about. And it's just a really chill day. There's not really a set schedule. It's like a little bit of charts, some what's going on Twitter, some general like, hey, what's going on in the markets as a whole. Besides that, chill, have a good time and relax. So Loki wanted to say hello because he just got back from coming with me to get a haircut. So Loki's enjoying himself. Boop. Yeah, that's your good boy. Yeah. Yep. He's having a good day. Yeah, bush. All right, let's get started here, everybody, because yeah, Bitcoin's not doing so hot. I mean, I literally made a video this morning explaining like, hey, you know, when we're still bearish, let's kind of wait this sucker out. But lo and behold, Bitcoin's making a push right now to bring us down just a tad bit more. So let me get Loki out of the way. Loki, move. I don't want to run over his little tail. There we go. And let's just kind of peek and see what Bitcoin's doing on some of the shorter time frames first. Normally we'd go straight over just like the daily stuff like that, but as we speak, Bitcoin is definitely getting pushed down here, which is definitely not the best thing right now, obviously, right? Definitely not the best thing. What I was doing earlier is I was going back over here to the 4-hour chart just to kind of have a little bit more of an idea of where that support actually is. Now, when you look at maybe something like the 4-hour chart, the 2-hour, the 15 minutes, or anything like that, you kind of see the support level down here, just kind of around, you know, 63,379. When in reality, we're really just breaking back down below that 20-week moving average that we've been talking about. So let's just kind of break down everything there because, I mean, even as I'm talking, Bitcoin continues to go down more and more and more here, which is definitely just going to be something interesting, right? Didn't expect this to be happening during a members, you know, a members stream, but lo and behold, you know, this is where we are. Okay, so let me back up here a little bit more just so you guys have a little bit of that daily update that we normally talk about. There we are. All right, from the daily perspective, again, I know nothing's changed, but I just want to reinforce that nothing's changed just yet. We still have the bearish move as far as the MACD still bearish, stochastic still bearish, and we have the RSI. Everything's still pointing to be bearish at this point in time. With right here, the weekly chart, everything is pretty much bearish except for the stochastic. And again, what we're breaking down below right now happens to be the 20-week moving average. Now, according to this, Bitcoin's current price on Bitcoin to Tether, not Bitcoin to USD, but Bitcoin to Tether, is around $63,534, $540, $542, somewhere around there. And where the 20-week moving average is $64,105, right? So if you go off of this, or maybe I'm not making sure I'm in the place, yeah, right there, we're pretty much trying to break down below it right now. I wish I could go back in time here and try to adjust this to be something more of like a, I guess I don't have to go back in time, but just go weekly. 1-hour chart. And you can kind of see that 20 approaching right here. We're trying to stay down below it. If we were going to do that, honestly, go back over here to the weekly chart. We got 27 minutes left. They're going to try to get us to close down below this level. So that's why you're seeing that push happening right now. Let me get out of this very fast though, just so it looks a little bit better. And then there we go. All right. So that being said, still bearish. I hate it. It looks like we really do want to push down here towards the low 60s, which means anywhere between like maybe $60,000 to $61,000 for that next level of support. If you're going off of this order block here, it seems to be 62,000 is the top, and the bottom is all the way down here, close to 60,200. I would just round down to say $60,000 here. All right, now that all being said, let's just kind of go over here to this next chart. You can see everything at this point. Jesus, it's still pretty bearish. Let me actually pop open the smart money concepts here. That way you guys can just see the colored charts here. Bearish here on the 4. That's gonna be the daily. Bearish on the 4. Bearish on the 1. And of course, bearish right here on the 15 as well. I think because we are at this level of support here, whether you want to look at the 1 hour or the 4 hour right here, because we are at this level of support, it doesn't mean we're just going to break through and fall down horribly. But I would say you probably want to wait a little bit before trying to buy this dip. You might be looking to do, this is not dollar cost average, this is more of a day trade analysis here. You guys are definitely going to want this thing to settle down for maybe about like a couple hours at least, and then try to make some of your moves, because if it doesn't, you know, it's going to take a little bit of time for those oscillators to swing back up. Right here we don't have the MACD. If I go over here, the MACD is over here. There we are. You can see everything's flushing down right now. Stochastic is moderating, but everything else is not there just yet. It still kind of signals that we might have a little bit more of a bearish move coming forward here, okay? Now, so I got allergies, as you guys know. It's been that time of year here. Lots of water, though. As much as this has been happening, I've been looking over the last few minutes, and not much news has actually been on Twitter or X. My wife looking at me on a road trip after listening to Bitcoin podcasts for 6 consecutive hours, every single time talking about, like, you know, why you would buy and hold. Hawk Tui for some Bitcoin wallets, I guess. What do you call it? Nothing beats Bitcoin. Michael Saylor talked about this earlier, you know, making money in the markets and so forth, just holding and holding and holding. But really, you know, the type of stuff that you see when Bitcoin is boring, hey, this is why you should buy and hold Bitcoin, not so much like, ooh, Bitcoin's going to the moon. It's that kind of talk here. And I've been looking for more and more stuff, but nope, there's nothing really good at this point in time on X. I will look for more news as it appears, but right now there doesn't seem to be hardly any news out there. As far as Bitcoin as a whole, let me just refresh this so you guys can see what's going on. I have been keeping track of that layer 0 that you guys have been talking about. It seems like it's a pretty good one. It's like dropping like 10% right now today. I think I might have taken a small baby position inside that one too. So we'll see how that one turns up. Just a little bit of a sponsors promo here, so I can actually start mentioning them because I don't mention them enough. I got 3 sponsors right now as far as exchanges. There's Fairdesk, Blowfin, and CoinW. If you guys want to sign up with a new exchange and try them out, highly recommend them. They're my favorite exchanges out there right now. You know, and I just enjoy them. That's enough for the sponsors right now. We'll probably check out some of those positions in a little bit, but definitely they're still all coming down here. And we have to determine, I think I'm going to do this tomorrow with everybody watching. I think I'm going to do this, yeah, probably Monday. We're going to be building a high risk meme coin portfolio on Blowfin. It's going to be very, very high risk. It's only going to have 2x leverage on there, and I'm not entirely sure how I want to do it yet. I think I'm going to invest $500 into it to start off, and I'm going to see how it turns out. But it's going to be definitely like 1x leverage there. And hey, Steve, happy to see my man. It's weird having the member stream on a Sunday like this, but I wanted to do this because I haven't done it like in probably a quarter or so. So I need to get back on this. So if you guys don't know, every Sunday I'm going to get back on track with this thing, saying, hey, members only stream on Sundays, have a good time, chat, do the normal stuff, but just, you know, a little appreciation. It's built into the actual membership program that I built out here, so I want to honor that at least. So as far as now though, oh yeah, as we were talking, Bitcoin's still getting pushed down here, breaking down below that support, and you can see Bitcoin getting slammed here. Oh yeah, what a non-fun time, I would say, at this point. So let me push this over. What I'm gonna do here very fast is just, well, actually I don't need to worry about that right now. I think it'll be fine. Yeah, definitely just kind of watch this, because I'm looking at this. I mean, like, okay, Bitcoin's down about 1.43%. It's actually not too bad, guys. Well, I think the majority of the issues are coming along. There's still going to be those altcoins. I know I told you guys that WIF was a piece of like crap earlier today during that video I posted, and it's still coming down quite a bit here. That 4-hour chart is getting hammered. If there is one token we just want to be very, very careful about if you guys are buying into it, I mean, this thing definitely looks pretty bearish here. If you want to dollar cost average it, I mean, I'd be happy to start dollar cost averaging it now, because it is down quite a bit. Like what? WIF is down 68% from the highs over here. If it comes down to that next level of support, that's going to be about 81% less, which again, is just going to be kind of agonizing here. Look at the 15-minute chart. It's still getting pushed down here as far as WIF's concerned. Everything else, like the Miros, the smaller market caps and stuff like that, Book of Meme, all having bad days as well. Is there anything really having an okay day? Yeah, there's a few. Some of those tokens that had really bad days, you know, earlier this week. So this is Boom right here. It's having a bad day right here. But if I go over here towards Matic, it's only down about 2%. not terrible actually. Doge on Mars down about 2%, having a really rough week, but not terrible, right? Crow down 2%. This one could use some help here. I always like to buy Crow, just because of, the crypto.com app. It seems to get a lot of volume, so I'm assuming they're going to do well over time. But you can see after they broke down right there, it's been just kind of a constant flush going down. It really has not been the best thing here. But things like Matic, Ethereum Classic, or actually even Ethereum Classic is about to flush down here. Yeah, you're seeing some real large support levels about to be breached, and I'm guessing this week is all going to be about whether or not we can hold. And technically, as far as the charts are concerned, we actually haven't even started the new week off, so maybe we'll see a little bit of a bounce for another few hours, and then we'll just get full throttle pushed down here. But yeah, Bitcoin definitely in a bad spot. You see Gala's coming down here. This is all daily charts here for now. Yeah, Gala coming down. We were hoping for a bump and never broke out. GTC, ICP. Yeah, poor ICP. Look at this thing is still flushing down right now too. ID token down 6. Yeah, you're probably going to see this for the next about a week or so. It has to be. I'm looking at maybe different tokens out there, like MOG is down quite a bit today. I mean, but when I think of things like MOG or Turbo, they've ran up so much that I don't care if they're having one bad day like this, because relatively to everything else, they're still doing very well. Most altcoins that you guys are looking at right now that aren't necessarily these top meme coins, because there are a lot of shit meme coins too, right? They've already broken down here, and they're like finding support levels down there. MOG is still doing great. Turbo still doing great. Again, let me zoom in here so you guys can see. Maybe not doing the best, out here right now, but still ultimately doing okay. Basically, if I go back over here, it's like the 4-hour chart. You trade those change of characters, you sell the resistance levels, and you just get out. There's still tons of opportunities. Right now, though, it's definitely much more of a shorter's market. If you guys don't like to long, or if you guys only like to long, don't be afraid to kind of sit this out for a little bit, unless you guys are trying to find a potential bottom, which we're not there just yet. Instead, you guys can try to do some paper trading when it comes to shorting. So if you guys have any of the accounts I mentioned before, or just in general any trading account for the most part, they typically, unless it's like Robinhood or Webull, or maybe even Webull, no, I don't know, they may have the opportunity for you to paper trade with fake money and do shorts. And if you guys don't have a crypto exchange like a Fairdesk, Blowfin, Binance, anything like that, don't forget you can always go over here to the bottom of your screen, go to trading panel, make it full screen. It'll have paper trading right there built in, so you guys can actually do your paper trading here if you guys want to. It's a little bit kind of glitchy. I don't necessarily like it, but if that's what you have to use, I would definitely do that over not doing anything, just so you guys can practice your skills a little bit more. The dollar index is open right now, and this continues to go higher. I'm actually really afraid that this is going to break out here. After we had that good CPI report right here, bad Fed speak from Jerome Powell, and he kind of spiked back up. And this was a jobs earning report. Yeah, kind of crazy how this stuff happens. Good jobs report, which was an inflationary jobs report with high wage increases, up. CPI data crash. FOMC pump. Definitely kind of a scary experience for those holding during these troubling times. That being said, what you're seeing here is a potential breakout, and that breakout could be ultimately like very, very bad for crypto, because that could really push us down quite a bit here. A couple more things now. If we were to break out from here, we do have some levels of support. Don't really worry about that too much. My big thing is how the rest of the market's going to like really respond to this. Bitcoin, we know it may go back down into the 50s like we did a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago now. But when I look at stuff like the stock market now, which is it's slowing down here a little bit. Look at the oscillators on the Dow Jones very fast. I know we're mostly talking about crypto here, but just pay attention for a second. Bearish, bearish, bearish. It's not really the good time to buy. NASDAQ, a little bit different, right? Bullish, bullish, bullish. Things are still growing relatively okay, but if we start to tilt off a little bit, my fear is that we're going to stagnate for a little bit and eventually have some of these larger breakdowns. That's kind of why I'd say the most of my concern comes in. Because the market's still moving relatively up, even if Bitcoin's moving sideways, I'm hoping that the market can kind of try to save us, but we're going to have to see some type of good news as far as inflation is concerned before we get those larger moves from Bitcoin. Even here with the SPY, bullish, about to be bearish, bullish right here. There's short opportunities, I would say, to buy. At this point in time, there wasn't really much on the weekly chart. Daily chart, since everything is bullish, you could buy the break of structure. You could buy the change of character. You can make money that way, right? But it's really holding for just about 5 to 7 days on average, or maybe 5 days for the stock market here, 7 days for crypto. So if you guys see any potential moves here that are really getting you excited here for a long, again, let's just go back in time a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That was 6 days out of the 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Kind of stagnated for a little bit. This one was a breakout. You kind of buy it, and it's a different type of mentality going up to the next level of resistance. The breakup structure right here, though, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a good in and out place. Of course, it went higher, but then that thing would have stop lossed you out in a heartbeat if you moved up your stop loss. So, still, again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 up here. That 7 days seemed to be okay. I don't know if that stop loss would have got you out, though. If you would have had your stop loss just a little bit lower, I probably would have got stopped out there. In fact, I think I did, actually. So yeah, so be careful with these moves right now. It's definitely just going to be a little more of a kind of one of those markets where everybody's freaking out, but you're just kind of buying because eventually everything's going to go up. But you have to listen to everybody freaking out for a while. And I think that's what you're hoping for. At this point, you're just hoping that it kind of fits that same pattern where you guys have always done this before. The world is falling, the world is falling, the world is falling. I better get out of all my cryptocurrency. And then all of a sudden when it booms up later on, all those people that sold off are going to be pushing Bitcoin higher. The only thing is, it's going to take a while at this point unless we can get some really good economic data. I don't think the next economic data comes out for another 3 weeks, I think, as far as the CPI. And that's kind of a while here. CPI data calendar. There we go. So that next one is coming out June 11th, July 11th. Yeah, July 11th, which is, pull this up here. You guys can't see it just yet, but about a few weeks away, 3 weeks away. Yeah. So there's definitely some time there, but again, push it out to the weekly chart. Can we come down for a few more weeks before another good CPI report pushes us back up? I think that's realistic. I am pricing in a good CPI report off of that last one. And I don't mean we're going to be beating expectations again. I'm more saying that we should be able to hopefully meet expectations. Let me put that in there right there. There we go. Not the right one. Must be right there. Inflation rate. There we go. Yeah. So you can see now that we actually have that new month, it's pretty much been kind of flat. It hasn't been the best here as far as we might want to expect, but that flatness, we got to live with it a little bit. Now, the trading economics forecast for next month is going to be 3.1%. I'm curious to see what the consensus is. We won't really know that until closer to the 11th of July. If we can match 3.1%, or if we can beat 3.1%, hit 3% again, you should see the market spike. And let me see if I can actually point this out. There you go. All right. And this time I think it'll be a lot better for Bitcoin and assets as a whole, because July, when we have the FOMC meeting, it's not until the 30th and the 31st. When we pull up Bitcoin here and we kind of remember what was going on during these times, this was a bad CPI report. This was a good Fed FOMC minutes statement by Jerome Powell, right? Go back over here to the next one. Bad CPI report. I don't remember that last one was before that. Was that in mid-April, or was it May? April 30th. So April 30th, right here. Oh, it was actually a bad FOMC right there. This must have been the CPI. No, what was that? What is the support level? Regardless, because yeah, we had good CPI right there. But not a terrible CPI, I should say. This is where we knew for a fact that we weren't going to be having rate hikes. That's the better way to put that one right here. And of course, right over here. Oh, that was the last one. Oh God, time's been flying, guys. Time's been absolutely flying. Because we had one other one April 30th. But this one was... Where am I forgetting this? Sorry, June 12th. Jeez, I know my brain is forgetting something. Yeah, we had this spike right here. Then the Fed bringing this back down. So that was also a really bad one right there for us. Let me get rid of these very fast. There we go. It feels like we're going to be pushing down towards 60,000 bucks here, and that's not going to be the good thing. And hey, Puma, happy to see you, my man. Welcome to the member stream. I'm enjoying this so far. It's different, way more different than I would be used to. Although, you know, normally we're not used to Bitcoin looking like it's trying to flush out here. Let me remove maybe the RSI for now, just so we can have a couple oscillators. You guys can just see this falling down here. I don't know why I'm doing that little click thing today. I think because I'm just tired. But the dollar index is moving higher. Each time that thing moves higher, I get a little bit more afraid. We're far enough from the breakout right now where I'm not too concerned about it, but we are less than $1 away, so I'm kind of wondering what's actually pushing it up at this point in time. I was trying to see if there was any actual data coming out. Let me pull this over to the side here. I'm just going to go to FX News. Here we go, and you can see the Bitcoin falling down just a tad. So the US okay, there we go. The US dollar trades higher for the week after the US PMIs outpace European PMIs. Markets see greenback testing 159 in USD Japanese yen. The US dollar index trades in the green and almost certainly locks in the third consecutive week of gains. Yeah, there's it right there. They're using that trading view too. This is from Friday, it looks like. Okay, so that's when everybody is open. So, okay, so we're going up because of what Europe is doing right now. That's interesting. Tasty trade, get out of here. So this is a quick little thing. I'll try not to make it too boring. This stuff is usually very, very boring. So on Friday, the US dollar, benchmarked by the US dollar index, extended its gains, stemming primarily from robust purchasing managers index figures for June released by S&P. So that's the purchasing managers index. Regarding the U.S. economic outlook, there exist signs of some disinflation. Furthermore, the Federal Reserve officials' cautious comments regarding embracing easing cycles serve to keep market expectations in balance. Should the mixed signals from the economy continue, there could potentially impede any further gains in the USD. I mean, I'd rather just have a softening economy or something like that makes the dollar go down. The more we have wages going up or inflationary pressure, that when people feel like there's an inflationary pressure on the market due to some type of news event like an economic data report, typically that's going to push the dollar index higher. And that's exactly what we don't want. When Jerome Powell is hawkish, that dollar index goes higher. We don't want that, right? Let's see. Technical indicators for Friday's session demonstrated renewed bullish momentum backed by the robust PMI figures. The relative strength index stood above 50 with the moving average divergence presenting green bars. I don't know who calls it that, just call it the MACD. Presenting green bars pointing towards a sustained bullish sentiment. Additionally, the dollar index maintains its footing above the 20-day, 100-day, and 200 daily moving averages. Coupled with rising indicators, the US dollar seems to be poised for additional gains. That's very, very bearish for Bitcoin. Let's just say that now. Now we can watch this back up. Bitcoin continues to make these new lows for the day, though. How many hours until the end of the day here? 7 minutes. Okay, so they're really trying to push us down here. After that 7 minutes, we may be able to actually have somewhat of a surprise reversal off of this, just because it's the new day here. All right, there we go. Mirror's down about 7%. Floki's down about 6%. Nothing is really holding up well. AMP is holding up well, but AMP, if you guys know AMP, it kind of just does this wacky stuff. All right. Weekly, it's still coming down over though. Yeah. 15. There we go. Yeah, Turbo, all those good things that we know and love, they're all coming down quite a bit. Even if they're only there for maybe some day trades and stuff, they are still coming down quite a bit. Let me go over here and let me find out what's coming down the most of the last 24 hours. Phantom is up, Toncoin is up, Near is up a little bit. coming down here. Layer 0. I wonder if that's just because it was so popular. I know you guys really brought me onto this a few days ago. Layer 0, number 95 on the market cap here. Let me push this over to here. Let me go over here to big moves, daily big moves, props. Yes, 0, there you go. Yeah, it's so new that you really don't have much data for it, but this thing could turn into an ICP if it's just getting launched now. Because go over here to 0, open this one back up. 7 days, a month. Nope, month and 7 days of the same exact chart. Yeah, so this is so new that if Bitcoin isn't going straight up with this, oh boy, yeah, it could definitely have a bad opening up here. Usually in these scenarios though, as long as the company remains strong as like the kind of core fundamentals of it, I think you are going to see people try to buy this up a little bit, but you know, this is definitely not something I just go buying into right now. Definitely dollar cost averaging is the mentality of the day for this one. I don't know, we don't really have too many new tokens really starting off at those higher valuations lately. If there's ever anything like that out there, let me know, because I'm always curious to kind of keep watching them. The only one in my brain that I ever like, you know, go back to in history is always going to be ICP, and we know that was kind of just unmitigated disaster which happened there. Possibly we can have some better moves later on there, but I just don't see it happening right now. And you can see the 4-hour chart with Bitcoin obviously heading down. Ooh, with the new break of structure here too, so yeah, you're definitely looking at some bearish activities there. I bet the 5-minute chart's going to be the best play we have though. Yeah, let's go back over here though. Yeah, Bitcoin's still getting pushed down. What I'm going to do, since we already did break down below that support level, I don't think it's too important. You can see we broke down, we tested it, turned into resistance, and now we're coming down even more. Let's move this line down here to, or actually let's just move it another line. Let's just add it right there at $63,000 just so we know. There you go. Because that's our next level of support, even if we start moving stuff over, right? Push this down, you guys can keep track of that line right there. We're currently testing out this order block. We're not having much luck, which is why I said give it an hour, so maybe we can kind of wick back up for the new weekly chart. But as this pressure continues to build, that next support level is way down here around that 62,000 to 60,000 level. Yeah, 62 to 60. There you go. Push to the 5. See if they can get us down just a tad bit more. But this is a Sunday here, so I don't know how many people are actually going to be watching these charts. Log is down 10, PopCap's down 5. Oh, GameStop went down on Friday. I did not know that. Jasmy's down 7 after a really good few weeks. Ocean's down 3. You know, when I look at some of these plays, were they able to, are they all the way back down after the rebounds or not? So let me go over here to maybe an hourly chart. Yeah, so some of these crashed down very, very hard last week, and they had really good rebounds. And even though they're down a little bit now, like 4 or 5%, they're not all the way back down at those levels. This might have been an AI phenomenon, or maybe just a really volatile cryptocurrency phenomenon. So like if something caught fire between October and March, they may have a little more spice to them, but also a lot more liquidations happening at the same time. If you guys recall World Token, right? This thing did not have one of those nice pops. It came down quite a bit. It even had, I would say, an okay rally, right? You go from the low to the high. That was 28%. But some of these other tokens had some really big moves that I was very surprised about. Hence some of that turbo that we bought here. Oh, we still pushing down? Yeah, we're still getting pushed down here, guys. There we are. Let me make sure this is actually still up and running. We don't need to watch this because this is all just turning into complete, like everything is just showing you bearishness. I'll pop it open if any of you guys have questions about it. Let's go to that one. Bitcoin going lower. Ouch. There you go. I have to keep people updated. There we are. And I think 3 more minutes until we start off the new week. Maybe by then things will start to get a little bit better. I'm cautiously pessimistic. Cautiously pessimistic at this point. There we go. Now, during this time, I don't think we have to worry about inflation right now, or the Fed minutes calendars, or the CPI calendars. CPI does come out July 11th. Am I going to be here July 11th? I think I am. and layer 0. I want to bring this back up here. Let's do a quick check on the watch list here. I have to make a new watch list here for low market cap watch list, and then buy during the dumps. The one we used last October, November, December, primarily I would say in December, it worked out very, very well. You can see year to date with, up 93%. Internet computer did not do so hot. Fetch AI up 100. Again, look at these back in March when we were selling everything off. A lot different. WorldCoin was a lot better. This was all the way up about 10, 12 bucks, man. That was a good time. Book of Meme up a lot. Ocean Protocol, Ontology did not work out. RLC was up quite a bit here. Follow was up quite a bit when we bought it too. So I think most of these worked out, but I think for now we're going to have to build a new watch list here from scratch and say, hey, what are the things we want to buy when, altcoins are crashing? I know all of you guys probably watch Benjamin's YouTube channel, or maybe look at his Twitter account, X account. He posts a lot about Bitcoin dominance right now, and this was an interesting post here because I kind of watch a lot of his videos to kind of get a sense of what he's talking about. Sometimes it's very interesting to kind of see what he's talking about here, but look at this. It looks like the same thing may be repeating regarding altcoin to Bitcoin pairs. Tighter monetary policy causes alts to break down against Bitcoin. Orange line is the Fed funds rate. But the interesting thing is here, you didn't actually see this really start to get bad here until rates were coming down. And even when rates came down, it still took a little bit of time before that spike happened. And I'm wondering if this is just because it was totally COVID related. This was a huge COVID move. I would say you can see Bitcoin turn bearish when we were having the rates go up, but when they were flat for a while, not much was happening. You would think we were much more sideways. But that ultimate move did happen when the funds were coming down. So I'm curious to see if historically this is going to prove to be correct, just because anything revolving around COVID definitely was the first of its kind as far as how the market was reacting and stuff like that. So I'm curious to see how this is going to be, because I don't want to see the Fed funds rate go down and then the situation get worse where altcoins are still coming down even more. I don't want to see that. If that was the case here, I'd rather have that happen in a way where Bitcoin is surging, altcoins are kind of flat, and then altcoins catch up, and then you have this thing where altcoins are really coming up in a short amount of time. Because again, right now, 2021, we really haven't had that surge just yet. We had a baby part of that surge, you might say, right over here. I'm still waiting. Bitcoin ETFs, the spot ETFs are going to make this a little more difficult because all that hedge fund money flowing in there. But I don't think the dominance is going to have to change so dramatically this time in order to see altcoins having their big rise. So I'm curious to see what you guys may think about that down the road. Do be the speculation. Let's see. Let's see, anything else? No. Bitcoin shorts. I'm always worried about these beaches because they don't look beachy. You know what I mean? They always look kind of weird. But as long as the weather's good, the sky's blue, I think you can have a really good time. Sorry, I can't hear. Also a good post right there. Advanced decline index for the top 100 cryptocurrencies. Advanced decline index. Okay, there we go. Total market cap. Market cap's actually not that bad right now. I think everybody's just over leveraged into what's going on. We just started up the new daily candle here, and that's the little pump we're seeing right now. Let's see if it's able to continue the move here. Get up a little bit more, making sure my music is still good to go. Yeah, new batch day. Let me move some of this stuff over so you guys can see it right there. All of a sudden, there's a lot more green on this, a lot more green on the screen here. And then Bitcoin's also pumping up here just a tad bit more. So let me go back over here to dailies. Let me go over here to, let's go to Fair Desk. I'm gonna go there. I need to have a different thing here for Blowfin. Blowfin uses the Google Authenticator, which I like, but at the same time, it you gotta have your authenticator out, which is fine in my normal life, normal capacity. But anytime I have to do stuff with Shiba, I'm like, oh, friend, I gotta pull out the authenticator. I don't use my Google Authenticator for much here. And then there we go. And then one more right here. Get out of that one. Why does it do it like that? Right. Sign into that account. Email verification. Gotta verify myself. Oh, those are easy ones. Okay, sweet. There we go. There we go. Okay. So let's push this right over here. Let's push that right over there. Okay. So the fair desk ones, I know we kind of closed some stuff that was positive over the last few days, and we kind of like are just waiting to see what happens next. But all of these dollar cost averages, except for hot, are down at this point in time. Not looking good at all. Most of these are going to be smaller amounts because we did start to sell some off here. But I think the biggest loss right now is going to be ID token here with the 2x leverage. So it's down about 50% since we bought it. See how it's still coming down here? Again, small position, don't get me wrong, but it's never good to feel that type of way, which is why we haven't really been buying much since that drop, that drop occurred. Maybe I'll buy some more here just now. It'll be something like a $20. We're not going gung-ho, guys, at this point. I'm waiting to see some more stability off the daily charts, and those could be a good push here. And now we're down just a little bit more. Not crazy. We're not trying to buy into it completely, but just enough here. All right, now let me go over here to Blowfin. This is one where I'm going to have to move some more money over to this account to see how it works out. Let me see, because yeah, right now we have that turbo. Oh my God, despite everything, that new turbo trade that I took a while ago, it's still up. When did I buy this turbo trade? When did I buy this? Oh, which when I sold my other turbo, I bought it right back. Just, oh, I see it. Okay, that was a long time ago. Well, that's surprising. It's been negative, positive, and everything else in between. Yes, I'm going to keep track of that one too. And then lastly, coin W right here. Let's go over to this one. Futures. Because these ones should also be down here. Yeah, already. Jesus, that's just why we did the small positions. RNDR is at down negative 20%. WIF, we talked about that one, down 50%. Ethereum down 7, not bad. Bitcoin down 6, not bad. And Solana down 15, that's rough. Bitcoin Cash 7 and XRP down 6-7%. I think Solana is probably one of the worst performers. Oh, and their Bitcoin goes right here. Well, there's that support level. Well, anyway, Solana right here. I know we talked about this a few times as far as that breakdown, different spots to go next. We're definitely breaking down below that support right now. We're heading back down here towards like 119 bucks for Solana. So if you guys have been looking for dips at these times, you're probably going to be okay. But I would still say these are dollar cost average dips or long-term dips, but not necessarily swing trade dips, because if we start breaking down below this, there is a case to be made for us going back down below $100 here if we don't get this inflation thing fixed up in time. It's an election season, so maybe Biden can kind of bully Powell into fixing up the interest rate situation, but I don't know if that's going to happen just yet, right? Just yet. Oh, we're bouncing off 63,000. Is that the thing? Here, let's put this up right here. You can see how we tried to pump up at the new day, got smashed back down. They were not going to let that happen at all. So let's go over here to the 5. The 5 will be the best example of actually what's going on here. But yeah, it's just not looking the best at this point. Let me push this up a little bit more too. If this is all doing really bad, is anything actually getting worse here? It's taking a little bit too long to update though. Oh yeah, that's not the way you want to start your Sunday, is it? But still, nothing new on the last. X needs to really fix itself where it gives it, like, if I go and search up Bitcoin and I go to top and I like refresh the page like you do on the app, if I hit refresh, there should be some new stuff that's popping off in the last 3 hours that I should be able to look at. I'm going to die on that hill because I just want to see new stuff every time I refresh, even if it's other popular stuff. Like crypto bros when Bitcoin reaches $200,000. I mean, you know what? Live your best life. If crypto is $200,000 at that point in time, you do whatever you got to do. You have some fun with yourself. Yeah, rough time right now for that guy, obviously, because we're not at $200,000. He's probably, you know, crying and whatnot. But I think there'll be something for him to do. Give it a few more months here. But still, we are finding support around $63,000 for Bitcoin here. Everything else seems to be doing okay at this point. Not necessarily great, but not terrible. There's only token actually making a really bad move off of Bitcoin, continue to go down. Doesn't look like it right now. I think there'll be okay time for this in a little bit here. Yeah, just a little bit more. Push that down just a little bit now. All right, so what I want to do now is get out of that. I'm going to try to pull up some Twitter content here just so I can see if there's anything happening. Let me zoom out of Twitter here. Michael Saylor, no. Oh, yeah. I'll say, this is a classic right here for all of you guys that enjoy this type of stuff. When you buy the dip, but the dip keeps dipping. Oop, yeah. That'd be the ID position that I just bought a while ago. At least it came back up though. But yeah, I don't know who does that type of stuff. Khakis, a polo, and a hat. You would never catch me doing stuff like that. But every time I watch it. All right, but yeah, that's pretty much it for right now. We're gonna be watching Bitcoin here for a minute. Let me go over here to messages. All right. I'm going to go back over to the subscriber model. That way you guys can say hello, hello, hello. There you go. I don't think any members had any questions, so it should be okay right now. Let me push this off just a little bit, though. And there we go. I think that'll do the trick right there. And then a little question mark. Yeah, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, you guys can shoot. I don't know if I'm going to be answering many questions about technical analysis, to be honest, right now, just because Bitcoin coming down is the big thing. But if you guys have questions about what happens later on, I can always answer those types of things. Usually around Bitcoin, I think it's usually the best use of time and all that good stuff here. Let's see. Free. Sorry, 3-piece. I'm going to be doing this every Sunday here, but normally this is just a member stream, so it's a little bit more different. But it'll only be Sundays until, like, you know, everything gets out of the way, anybody's questions that can be answered are answered, and then you're good to go. This Sunday, though, there's a bunch of stuff happening, at least out here. Everybody's gone. I went to go get my haircut today. Oh, dude, the traffic was freaking horrible. On the way back, traffic was even more horrible. Somebody had like a whole bunch of shit in their car and it got flown out all over the highway, so I was swerving and dodging like blankets and shit. I was just not having a good day. And this, you know, this isn't making me have a better day at all either. At this point, I'm just going to be buying up more Bitcoin, buying up more Ethereum, more Solana, more of these altcoins that we all know and love, but, you know, on top of Bitcoin. But this is like, I hate seeing the market move down like this. It's never just a good time. It's always, the vibe isn't there, you know, the excitement isn't there for cryptocurrency. And what you're actually seeing is, across a lot of YouTube channels, views are actually going down a little bit unless they have a way to keep you going. Like right now, I'm doing a lot of YouTube short stuff to keep people entertained. I'm about to start more tutorials and stuff like that, but I don't expect those tutorials to actually make much, get much like views from them. Maybe I'll see what I can do from there. But that's why I told you guys I'm going to do much more personality stuff with my phone. I'm going to be like talking about different stuff, having a good time. You know, remember, the job of a YouTuber for the most part is just to make you trade, because that's how they make money from their exchanges. When I work with my exchanges, I let them know like, hey, I'm not going to tell you guys to trade at any particular time. I just tell you guys what my personal thoughts are. And if I'm buying, you guys may buy, you guys may not. But you know, I'm not the type of guy that's going to, try to get you to do a whole bunch of crazy shit right now, because it's not the time to be doing crazy shit. If I'm doing anything crazy, it's just buying the dip for dollar cost averaging purposes. That's about as crazy as I can get right now, because again, this is a short sellers market right now. Short sellers are having all the fun. Remember, when the weekly chart is bullish, everything's kicking off, you're buying longs. Right now, we're in bearish neutral, which means more short activity going on. So at that daily chart here, oh, I got rid of it, didn't I? We pop this open here. When we're going over here and talking about all this stuff, remember, I know we talked about it the day of in the next couple of days, but it was like going up the next few days, so it didn't really make sense at the time. But bearish, bearish, bearish. You know, that told you guys should be shorting through all of this stuff at this point in time, and we're just not back to being bullish just yet. That's the thing that really sucks about all this. If I poke this out right here, you know, daily chart's still bearish, 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 and RSI and everything. The RSI is getting back down towards 30 here, which to me symbolizes we're getting close to a bottom here. I think we're getting closer. Now, this bottom isn't going to be something where you just buy and hold and hope that we're going to go higher. No, it's going to be a strategic few days of just holding to make that move. That's probably the best way to see it right now. But the 4-hour chart, still bearish, 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 bearish. Nothing really crazy here. Again, since the daily chart's bearish, you're only entering the short positions on the 4-hour. You're not looking at the longs. The long was a trap. The long was a trap. This one worked out, kind of a funky one, but it worked out. This one worked out, also kind of a trap right here. It's a little bit more difficult during this time, which kind of sucks, but that one worked out. And of course, when we were more I would say just more neutral here, these ones were working out a little bit more here, but still not the best. Still not the best here. That one worked out okay. That one worked out fine. Typically, if you kind of follow that mentality, the money you make is going to be a lot more than the money you lose during these types of trades. But right now, still pretty nasty here. The weekly chart, though, is still bullish, and that kind of gives me a little bit more hope. Although the stochastic is, I guess, now been confirmed to be bearish here, it really signals to me that we're coming down a little bit more here. Maybe we do something more of a falling wedge when everything's said and done, you know? Something more like that. And then, you know, it wedges out down here. I'm hoping it doesn't take this long, of course, but if we start coming back down to the 50s, rolling back up, and then we have a breakout sometime in November, September, nobody knows what time the break it is, but you know, maybe we just come back down like this and then do it. There's lots of opportunities, but I think we all want to see that happen sooner rather than later. This weekly chart is new, and it feels like it's going to dump us back down here towards 60s. There we go. Short term though, Bitcoin is trying to find support above the 63,000. And hey, Wood, happy to see my man. 88 Chrome Dome. It's all algorithmic. Nobody is selling. I mean, there's some people selling right now. Some of their stop losses are just getting hit. I mean, whether they know it or not, it's kind of a bad time for them. But yeah, a lot of this trading, yeah, it is algorithmic. That was me buying bonk at 32 and 30. Now it's 20. Dude, you're not the only one. There's a lot of people doing that right now. I mean, there's a reason why I've been dollar cost averaging all the way since March. And I was like, you know what? This is kind of high. I got to start selling some stuff off. It's just because it kind of went wild for a second. Baby steps are going to be your best friend right now. When everything gets bullish, oh, you better believe I'm going to latch on to that and just go boom, you know, like I'm going to go for it. Hey boy, how you doing? But until then, it's just kind of a waiting game, and that waiting game fucking sucks right now. It just sucks. Bearish will correct. Oh yeah, of course it will. Of course it will. If we go into a bear market now, what could be the low for Bitcoin? Oh, I'd probably say something like $25,000, $20,000. It could still be pretty darn bad. You know, maybe if you want to be optimistic, in the 30s. You know, last time in 2022, when everything was breaking apart and things were going really, really bad, I think people forget how many exchanges at that time were actually just coming down. And I mean, like, exchanges were falling like flies. We had like, what was it? So we got FTX, that was the big one, of course. But we also had like Celsius. We had, it's been so long, my brain doesn't remember all of them. BlockFi. There's a few other ones that went down. I forget all of them. Voyager. Yeah, so at this point, you know, it could be rough. I don't think we're heading down to that. That would have to be something drastic as far as the economic data showing us. And I don't think we're there anywhere close to being that there yet, at least as far as I'm concerned. This has been a one-of-a-kind bull market, you could say, though. This has definitely not been the crazy everything happens within a few months period of time and then we all sell and then we're kind of bearish for a while. This is something completely different, and I'm curious to see how this fleshes out. Like, you know, 5 years looking back on this market or 2 years looking back on this market, I really wonder what we're going to talk, how we're going to explain this away, like what exactly happened. Because right now I'm still in the dollar cost average mentality. I still have a lot of tokens, a lot of assets in the market. I have a lot of altcoins still in the market. Normally I'd be, you know, if it was altcoin season, I'd be like 50% out of my altcoins right now, but we didn't really have that full in altcoin, feeling to go with. You got a bad feeling we're heading for the low 50s? Let's hope not. I'm really hoping inflation data will kind of fix this up a little bit. Loki wants to have a quick little, what do you call? Here, you want to get a little, here, come here. Yeah. Oh, it's trying to smack me in the face. There you go. Okay. Okay now? Yeah, good? Yeah? A little needy right there. Or did you just want another treat? Yeah, his ears went up when he heard the treat. Alright. There we go. Boom. Everybody says they want a Lambo when they get Bitcoin. And when the Bitcoin money flows in, all my excess cash goes to this freaking dog. Getting treats, getting his lamb meat, his beef. Yeah. You a good boy? Yes, you are. Altcoin season will rise. Oh yeah, just give it some time. I always think it's important that people like zoom out just a little bit when we talk about Bitcoin here. Like, let's remove all the drawings. Let's get rid of the oscillators. Let's get rid of the colored candles here. I don't think we need to for now. Yeah, this will be fine. We usually just riding it up, looking pretty darn good, having a really good time, having a really, really good time over here. We're in a whole different environment right now. We're in a whole different world. We are not having that, oh wow, let's just go straight up type of thing. No. This has been much more of a cycle, like mini cycles within this, which is interesting, but it's not nearly as much fun, or the money doesn't flow as fast. It's almost starting to adapt kind of back into that SPY Dow Jones type of thing, where we're kind of having these long, grinds. Then we have a breakout, NASDAQ, long grind. Then we have a breakout. Everything's really good to go. But yeah, we're not there right now. Bitcoin at this point in time, I mean, we already know that Fibonacci extension has been good so far. Let's see if we get up here to 104 and whatnot. If we go through this cycle continuously, if this cycle does end up being so freaking long, it opens the door for us to possibly get up here towards 172,000. For me, I'm just happy if we get up to 106,000, 104,000. That's my priority right now. But if this continues to be like this, it could definitely happen. What's going to be interesting here that I don't think is going to be talked about all too much is that we're most likely, if things don't get fixed up in the next couple months, we're going to have a death cross here between the 20-week moving average and the 50. That 50, remember, is last 50 candles here. So let me just bring this back over. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Right? Right now, we are replacing candles at 30,000 that were at 30,000 with candles that are at 63,000, 64,000, around that place. So the 50 is still going to be coming up quite a bit. However, when it comes to the 20 here, we're replacing, I think this is close here, yeah, $48,000 candles with $65,000 candles. That thing is still rocketing up. Give it a few more days though, maybe about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. About 5 more days, you're going to see this 20-week moving average actually plateau a little bit, and that's where the spookiness is going to come in. Every time we have one of these, we usually have a pretty drastic move down. We've had drastic moves down where it's not crazy, like this one was COVID, so it wasn't going to be terrible if not for COVID, if that makes sense. Right here, a bad one as well. So that maybe is something that we have to break, that cycle where maybe we don't even have a nasty move. Maybe at the worst of it, we end up coming back down here towards like $50,000. Maybe back over here towards 52. Again, nobody knows exactly what's going to happen, but we do know that the momentum for Bitcoin now is definitely much more in that bearish, going in the bearish direction. There we go. We're finding some bottoms here. That's what we want to see here. That's exactly what we want to see. Now there's a baby change of character. I can get this baby started here. They're going to have to lower rates because the market is about to crash. Well, I don't think they're going to lower rates for the cryptocurrency market. They would have to lower rates for the stock market. And there is history that would suggest... Well, look, move. There you go. Sorry. Gotta move back my seat so I can readjust. My worst feeling ever is hearing him whine if I roll over his tail. there is history to suggest that yes, they will give up during those times. So if I go over here to the Nasdaq SPY, it's all the same thing. And we go back over here. Let's go over here to the weekly charts. So this right here, this was 2018. Most of us obviously just remember COVID because COVID was a sudden shock to the market. However, this right here was because of rate hikes by Jerome Powell back in 2018. Everybody that was afraid the economy was going to overheat. Remember, we had to pass these massive tax cuts. So everybody was like, oh no, things are going to get bad. And they didn't, right? People usually have a horrible fear of like new bills and laws when they're getting time to be made. So you see this over here in 2017, 2018. Let me shrink this down for you guys so you guys can see. So basically right up here in 2016, we are at 0.41. See how they're kind of taking hops? 2018, 2019. Right over here in 2019, right there. Let's see, March, February, like the summer, March, 2019. Uh-oh, that wasn't the best of moves right there. One. Oh, maybe I'm messing this up here. Max. Yeah, 2019. Rates going up into 2017 to 2018. That's a better way to look at it. Okay, there's 2018. They started throwing a fit, and then right after you threw the fit over here, that was back in August 20th. No, I'm backwards on this one. I know I'm right, but I'm backwards on it. I don't know why I'm like this right now. Because he rose rates back over here in 2017, 2018. The market threw a fit, but I feel like I'm missing something here. Or maybe it was the Dow that I normally look at. Yeah, flattened out though, just like everything else. 2018, January 2018 to... I guess this is when people started to panic here. It doesn't matter. But yeah, when you lower rates, things should be a little bit better. But when the market freaks out, he may consider that. I think he will. Remember, he doesn't want to lose his job if Trump comes back into office. I don't think he'd be kicked out by the Senate, to be honest. I don't think they'd want to do that type of move. As much as, you have people that are more pro-Trump in the House and Senate and anti-Trump in the House and Senate, I don't think they'd actually make that type of move here unless there was something crazy happening and Jerome Powell was failing drastically. Yeah, I don't think that'd be the case for him. But yeah, I'd give it some time with Jerome Powell. I think he wants to cut rates, but he's afraid of being the Volcker guy. Bitcoin seems overvalued. Bitcoin getting shorted might pump some alts. I'm hoping we can get some type of movement from it. It's just been kind of boring over the last few weeks. I just want to see something big happen. I'd rather get flushed out sooner rather than later, and I'd rather have a pump, of course, sooner rather than later. And hey, Discount, happy to see my man. Oh, wait for the week's options close. That could be interesting too. Bitcoin is overvalued. The 100K dream is gone. They shorted from 70K. What's up, Mike? Just want to say, GameStop. What do you call it? I'm doing okay. I'm hoping that GameStop can continue to go higher, but I don't have any in there. I have some like Faraday Electric Company, I think, but those are like YOLOs that I bought like 30 bucks worth from because I couldn't find any liquidity. There was like no way to buy or sell those suckers. Way too difficult to buy in there. All's good, still at a discount. Yeah, I mean, right now, I'd probably just stick to dollar cost averaging. Once we have that reason to buy, I think everything gets a lot better. We just don't have that reason just now. Remember, the last time we sold as a channel where I told you guys I'm selling off large quantities of a lot of my stuff, that was all the way back Let me go by the day. Weekly is gonna be a little more complicated. Was right here, right? That's where we're selling off large quantities of stuff. Now, it wasn't necessarily large quantities of Bitcoin. It was mostly altcoins here. And there are some upsides and downsides to that. You know, we go over here to Ethereum. It's kind of nice that I did everything on a single day. That went to like, oh, one day here was here, one day was here. You know, with Ethereum, it was right here, close to the top, but not there just yet. Still, I'm happy with the sell. Solana was down here. It kept on going up without me. I sold too early, but I was also buying way back over, what was October? Oh yeah, right over here. So I'm still relatively happy, even though I sold it right here. I'm still pretty happy. But things like WIF, you know, March 7th, a lot of the stuff ran up even after I sold, which hurt me to my core because, of course, I remember I told you guys, I'm working on not selling so early. I'm really trying not to do so. Bonk, of course, March 7th over here. It was actually after the spike up, so I missed the spike. Came down, back up, you know. Miro, well, this isn't the same thing. Miro wasn't even around back there. ADA, things like this. March 7th, you know, it was good. But right now, it's just kind of like, okay, time to start dollar cost averaging again. It's going to be a little bit more of a slog this time around, unless we can get some good economic data to kind of boost the market here. But yeah, it's definitely just, it's just not the good an environment that we had before. So I'm just going to be patient to wait this sucker out. I don't think it's a bear market or anything like that, though. We could be looking at a lot more volatility, though. Jerome Powell is going to have to be the guy that comes in and says, okay, let's cut rates, let's get Bitcoin back on track. That's not going to be his thought process. He'll be like, oh yeah, inflation's down enough, let's cut rates to kind of give the economy some leeway, and I think we'll be good. He's going to have to start cutting rates, though. It's not, you know, the Fed said 1 this year. It's not going to be 1. If it's 1, things are going to start to break again. I think it's going to have to be at least 2, maybe 3 if we're lucky. I think at least 2 here. September, November. I don't think we're going to have 1 in October unless something really good happens there. But, you know, it's not going to be 1. I don't think it's going to be 1 at all. What about the war? What about war? I mean, it's war. It's not going to be pretty here, you know. Yeah, it's war. I don't know exactly what you mean by that, but Bitcoin here, people may be buying up Bitcoin because of war and stuff. But at this point in time, war has just been a vehicle for the government to put a lot more money into the military-industrial complex. Like if you want to own some military stocks, I mean, you wanted to buy, like, every time they talk about adding, like, you know, almost $1 trillion to give out to other countries and stuff with the huge defense packages, that all goes to just a few companies. It's absolutely crazy. Even back when we were talking about Nvidia. Remember, Nvidia had a huge helping, not just because of AI, but because of the CHIPS Act. It's all inflated. So when that money runs out, a lot of stuff is going to just kind of crack and break. I alluded to, like, right now you can see Bitcoin coming down a little bit. I alluded to what we saw happen with Facebook a couple years ago, where we all think everything is very stable and safe. But the moment, oh, I forgot, it's fucking meta, isn't it? You know, but in reality, things can really go bad for a lot of stocks here in a short amount of time. You know, if Facebook can fall down like 77%, a lot of other stocks can too. We just choose not to believe it. But I think Jerome Powell understands it because there's so much money in there. Like it can be pulled out easily. And when people panic like that, oh yeah, they can go. You know, Google may have only fallen down so much, but it did fall down enough to freak people out, right? Google was down 45%. Remember, this is where we had a recession during this time, but this was a midterm election year, so the government and the media lied to us about it, saying there was no recession, but we did have the negative 2 quarters of GDP growth. We did have the negative 2 quarters there. And because of that, I don't trust the media anymore because they gaslight me to a certain extent. Like I was saying at the time, this is a recession, this is a recession, this is a recession. But I was only dollar cost averaging. I wasn't really going in heavily as I should have. And because of that, I lost out on a lot of profits. But yeah, that's just me ranting. I will never forgive the media for just saying there was no recession when there clearly was from the economic perspective, and they all just gas lit everybody, just saying there was none. You see the separatists in Russia, massive gunfight supposedly. Oh, that'd be interesting there too. Oh, and there's a little flush out right there. I have not been keeping up with the Ukraine war whatsoever. You know what? It's because I don't have access to news. I don't watch news. I watch, like, when I want to find something out that I care about. I obviously don't really care too much about what's happening over there, but I'll go online. I'll be FX Street. What's going on with the dollar? If there's something related to Russia there, then I'll do that. And right now, Bitcoin's coming down a little bit more here, guys. A little bit more. But yeah, it's a rough time here. I don't know. In America, we're just buying lots and lots of guns. That's all we're doing. Loads and loads and loads of guns. It's the only thing I think we're probably going to do over here for a while. I mean, like, I'm thinking of buying another gun here pretty soon too. The world's getting kind of crazy. Not like crazy, like the world's getting crazy. I don't think America's getting as crazy as it once was. But this is an election year, and this election year stuff can be kind of, you know, it can spice people up. People get really crazy about elections and who they want leading the country. And so, you know, with Trump stuff, you had the January 6th kind of riots going on there. Then when Trump was in power, you had what did the Democrats do? The George Floyd riots, right? There's always gonna be something spicy in the mix. As long as until that spicy moment, everybody's just kind of chill. We can live within those chill points. Out in Seattle, we had the Chaz. If you guys remember the Chaz, that was a wild time. They were taking over whole neighborhoods. The city was giving up control of neighborhoods, like whole city blocks. I had never seen anything like it. That's why I don't live in Seattle or refuse to live in even in that county. Because if the government will give up like the right to like patrol and, you know, keep people safe in a block, that's crazy. That's crazy. I know every city has different like riots and different types of scenarios and stuff like that. But Seattle saying, hey, we understand that you're rioting, we understand your concerns, so we're going to give you multiple blocks and have you like your own militias keep track of everything. Wild. So yeah, I'm not living anywhere near the city for the next few next years, at least an American city. Damn, I always wonder what they think. It's so hard to understand being filtered through mainstream media. It's like non-mainstream. I see the real news. Yeah, I mean, at this point in time, I think it really determines. I think it's okay to have some faith in the mainstream media. I just think when it comes to the big issues that can really sway your political opinion, I think they tend to lie a lot. I really think they tend to lie quite a bit. That's why you have all those people that go towards moderate podcast hosts, left-leaning podcast hosts, right-leaning podcast hosts. They don't care because at least, you know, for most part, most of these people are going to be telling you a little bit more. They're going to be telling you, they're going to be more truthful than what you hear on the news. This morning, I think as I was going off to visit my haircut person, I was listening to Face the Nation on my phone. I was just trying to figure out what they're talking about here because I guess Trump is close to his VP candidate choice. And I was just trying to figure out, okay, who does Trump pick? Does that really affect Bitcoin one way or another? Because I wanted to see what these for like Doug Burgum, Tim Scott, Rubio, JD Vance, what are their crypto policies? I just wanted to kind of learn that to see what they've said in the past. And I'm going to be doing that actually tonight. But they were having this like panel with a whole bunch of different like regular people out there, like, you know, like people come on the webcam and they answer questions like, hey, how do you feel about the economy, that type of stuff. But the main host was trying to gaslit everybody in there about how everything was fine, and they're like, no, it's not. And I was just like, you can't be doing that shit. Can't be doing that shit at all. And hey, Randy, we picked up 20 acres. Ready for it? Ooh, that sounds really nice right there. 20 acres sounds like a dream. I know. I'm looking for, let me see. My brain is so off today, guys. I'm sorry. Panama City Panama. There's a few places I'm looking at still in Panama City. It's the big thing is, do I want to live in Panama City? Like, I was thinking of getting a condo over here with me and Loki. If I'm living there for a year, I can take Loki out every day and chill out at the local dog parks and stuff. So do I want to live out here in the nice ritzy area, or do I want to live out here in the country club area? If I can find the country club over here, they have some nice houses, but they're like $3,000 a month to rent, which is kind of pricey for, you know, Panama. Or I can go about half an hour, 45 minutes outside and go to these beaches down here where there's a whole bunch of cool spots, houses with yards and stuff like that. Really relaxing, get a pool there if I want to, which I get a pool obviously. And then there's the, you know, the supermarkets and stuff like your Safeways, your Albertsons. You know, if it's safe enough for Google, it's going to be safe enough for me most of the time. You know, so that type of stuff. You know, anybody wants some McDonald's? I like how they spell it the same way too down there. You know, something like that. Or do I want to go off the beach, away from the beach, and then have a house over here? So these houses are a little bit different. This is not the type of house I'd be getting, obviously, because you can see they're houses, right? They're not like dangerous or anything like that, right? They're a house. It's a house. There's bars in the window for a reason, though. Do I want to do that, or do I want? There's like some nice secluded neighborhoods out here. Kind of like this, but it's a little bit more gated. I might go over and find a place over there. But that's if I really wanted a cheap spot. I'm not entirely sure if I do. Part of me is like, do I want to have a driver that can just pick me and my dog up? I rent the car for the entire day, like where the guy's just literally waiting in his car for me. And me and Loki are out here chilling out. We go and grab some food. And after we're done, we go back into the car. The driver picks us up, takes us back over to the house, and then we're good to go. Or maybe he takes us into the city. I'm not entirely sure. Different types of things. But right now, I'm definitely thinking that either a house is going to be fine, or a large condo. The condo would be like 3,000 square feet, so it'd be pretty large. Still trying to figure that stuff out though, because I'm out. Do I think we're going to see 50 Cent's Doge again? Yes, but it's probably not going to happen until all of this rate cut stuff gets figured out, because it's just dragging along the market right now. Definitely dragging along. And AGT might want to start hitting a 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. stream right when Jordan and Mitch Ray are getting finished to hit this streaming spot. I was thinking about that actually, not Jordan so much as Mitch, but I think when Mitch is done, I think that might be a good opportunity there. My big thing is I've just been really busy over the last few nights, because usually around that time is when I go out. So I'm thinking maybe Monday through Wednesday I do maybe a 5 to 7 p.m. stream. I think that'd be fine. Thursday gets a bit more difficult. No, Thursday doesn't. I can maybe do 5 to 7. Yeah, Thursday I can do 5 to 7. Friday, I'd probably do like 4 to 6 or something. Then I'd have to go straight over to where I go to hang out. I keep forgetting most people still live in cities. I need elbow room. I don't live in the city anymore, but I used to for sure. And there was ups and downs in it. If you want to like blow your money, like I like to spend my money. I got a lot. I can go out and have a fun time. Well, I will go out in the city to do so. Heck, I'm about to get a membership at the... I'm going to go here for businesses. You guys know I'm just starting to do speaking events, right? And so a few of my friends that go to this place are like, oh, you got to come. They don't have anybody that knows too much about cryptocurrency. So I'm going to go over to this Columbia Tower Club. And then basically, you know, they have like a nice restaurant in there. They got rooms to work and stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to find the pictures. I normally don't use this website all too much. Photos. Let's just do photos. Right? You got a nice view. You know, you got some chill stuff, little office spaces. All good stuff. And that's what it looks like from the base of the building. But, you know, it's just nice to have a chill place to be. Get some scalps in me or something. I don't know. But yeah, I need to join a club, so I'm going to go there. But they, there's two clubs I may join up there. The first one is that one. The other one is a little bit more expensive. I think that club is like $250 a month plus like a $400 initiation fee, which is it's fine. It is what it is. Not really terrible. The other one, the Rainier Club, though, I might live just far enough. I'm gonna see if I can just live just far enough where they give me a quarterly pay instead of me paying every month, because I'm just not gonna be there that much, because again, I live so freaking far away from the city. So they have a plan like that, which I kind of admire a little bit. Say, hey, we know you're not going to be around as much, but we have the option for you to be here if you want to, which I think is nice. It's like it's like the country clubs out here. Not everybody wants to go golfing every week. I know a few guys that golf every single week, and I'm like, guys, that sounds crazy. Getting your tan on and stuff like that. $1 Doge. At this rate, it's not going to happen until 2025. Because nothing is moving at this point, and the longer that Dogecoin kind of stays in the stagnation, the more, how do I say it? Yeah, the more other coins kind of make their up and up. You know, they come up here bit by bit. What are you doing right here? You just want a head scratch? All right, Loki's over here trying to get some scratches. I'm gonna de-shed him later on tonight. But yeah, it's gonna need to get going here. The only good thing I would say for things like Dogecoin and Shiba Inu, which, Loki, stop doing all that crap. No, stop doing all that stuff. Is that when they want to go, like a Dogecoin or a Shiba, they can. And that's actually very, very good for their long-term health here as far as what happens during the next little season here, right? Because even when Dogecoin popped, it still peaked at around like 22, 23 cents. That's great, you know? Getting back up here towards 50 cents, I think that's pretty darn easy for Dogecoin throughout this market if it just continues this nice pop, right? However, afterwards, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm betting on it getting up towards like 80, 90, $1. After that, again, I just have no idea as far as Dogecoin. And even with the dollar, you know, that's speculation right there too. Go over here to Shiba, really fast, gigantic moves, then it dies off immediately. Really fast, gigantic moves, dies. You know, I think that's what helps it out so much. Everybody is prepared and willing to take those moves when it comes. It just doesn't feel like it's going to be something sustainable where they hold up for a while. They're kind of sassy up there, like, oh yeah, I'm going to go up and down and some of that. No, they're just going to go straight up and then they're just going to come straight down. There's not going to be much play time in between that type of stuff. Think of Solana back over here, you know, where it's kind of stagnating for a little bit. It stays up here for maybe about a month or two. Like, when is this? Yeah, about 18 weeks, 126 days. Go over here to something like a, Dogecoin. I think it was because of how fast this thing came up. This rally only lasted for maybe about 56 days or something when it just started going back up. It went sideways for a little bit of time after that spike, but then eventually came back down. I think there was a lot of confusion though around this too, because remember, we did have a whole nother secondary Bitcoin rally, and Dogecoin just never was able to really go there. Remember, there was a whole rally right here. Dogecoin didn't do much. Most coins didn't do much, actually. Most coins didn't do much. But it was kind of an interesting time. Right now, Bitcoin has a bunch of support down here. It's going to try to bounce. I am waiting to see what happens with Bitcoin right there. I think if this market does take as long as it looks like it wants, like all the way to like the end of the year, that means we break out sometime in July. Hopefully. We go up, we get rejected somewhere up here, and then we finally have our breakout where it's like that. And then that takes you up towards your 30 cents, 40 cents, 50 cents over a period of time. But again, if Bitcoin can go up, 139% in like a week, maybe 2 weeks there, it can definitely go much higher, down the road if everybody's really gung-ho and all their money into it. But until then, hold what you hold, dollar cost average a little bit. That's really my goal at this point in time. Elon's going to have to announce Doge transferred on XApp. I think he will eventually, but I don't think Elon's doing that unless Trump is elected, because there's no way Joe Biden, the SEC, is going to allow that to happen. There's no freaking way in hell. Biden already doesn't like Elon Musk. He doesn't like, the billionaire class, whatever, unless they're donating them, right? But usually he tries to be more anti-billionaire, anti-wealth. So, and his SEC is very anti-crypto based off of all the lawsuits that we've seen over the past 4 years. It's been a fucking shit show, right? Now, that being said, Trump has now switched his position from being anti-crypto to be pro-crypto. and now he's getting donations from all these big crypto people and the Volkovich twins, whatever they are, and a bunch of other people out there, right? They're siding with Trump now with cryptocurrency. If Trump is able to really get the bureaucracies to be more pro-crypto, I do think there is a way for Elon to be able to fast track everything. Remember, there was that report about a month ago now, I think, that Elon Musk was talking to Trump about crypto policy. Elon Trump crypto. Yeah, here we go. Musk counsels Trump on crypto and sign a billionaire sway. Okay, I can't look at the whole story, but that's enough. So, but that doesn't happen until November, which is the election, right? Then they get sworn in 2025. So this is definitely much more of just a totally different time for cryptocurrency, which means that type of thing with Elon Musk, it's a 2025 issue. It's not even happening in 2024. Maybe he'll announce something. But again, it would be tied up in courts. But I don't think he'd want to announce it without everything being in order, especially since X is a whole different beast than any of his other companies. Much more of a social media type of thing. You know how Cash App manipulates X account like every Friday for Cash App Fridays. I just imagine being able to just transfer straight from X, just transfer the money, get left and right. They already got the banking license, I think, too. So all that type of stuff makes it just a little bit easier. Cost me 2 drinks at a fancy restaurant. 2 drinks is nice. I just bought a solar-powered drip irrigation system. Ooh, that for me is fun. Plus, way less work in the future. But I'm old. Have fun while you can. The years pass very, very fast. Yeah, they do. That's why I'm out of here pretty soon. I just don't know exactly where I'm gonna move. There's so many options out there these days. If you can work from home or you just do whatever I do, like trading or anything, there's options. And hey, her, I'm happy to see my man. Retail always FOMOs on these candles. Yeah, because the FOMO comes from a sense of desperation almost to get some type of good feeling. I don't even think they're really craving the money. They're just craving that feeling that comes with making money. When you sell off a big trade, you lock in that $8,000, that $5,000, even that $500, $100, whatever. You just feel good. You feel good. The FOMOers want that experience right there. And then the money that comes after that type of trade is of course good too, but it's that feeling of just, oh yeah, things are looking really good. When obviously right now they're not, but now they're probably panicking and selling right here. If you buy that right there, you just better have a stop loss and you better just let it chill, right? That's the only thing I could say. Let's just put a little error right here. Let's just pretending like we bought right here, okay? So let's just pretend like we bought the highest spot. Why is this thing so large? Oh, jeez, this thing is massive. Okay. Let's just add a squiggly line here just for my sanity. That thing is too large. There you go. Let's just say we bought there. So we're not buying at this lower price. We're just buying at the high. You would have to have your stop loss right here around 62.905 and then just waiting to see what happens next. That's all you have to do. If you want to take the opportunity, you want to act like you're buying a dip, you can see it right there. The 15-minute isn't there just yet, but it's okay to buy. It's okay to buy right here if you wanted to. You just have to have that stop loss because, if you're trading with a 5x leverage on that, it's still not going to be a lot of money on the short side here. The long side, you have some more opportunities, but again, that's kind of a high risk trade to be making. Decentralized mindset is better than centralized mindset. Same with assets. Oh yeah, but it's gonna take people time to learn that. That's why I have all my money kind of hidden away in cold storage wallets. I don't want to worry about it. I don't want to think about it. It's just let it sit there, make me some money, let it grow over time, and then I'll be happy to sell it, pay my taxes, and do all that other stuff. Have a good time. Elon and payment to the centralized narrative. Oh yeah, but still, there are people that want to use centralized systems. They don't trust decentralized systems for whatever reason. So if there's an option for them, those people are going to be able to, there's going to be people that are there to be making money. At this point, I think Elon isn't even thinking about this stuff. You know how some of those Boeing workers, those Boeing astronauts are kind of trapped on the space station because their ship is fucked up from Boeing? Oh man. I'm actually thinking that SpaceX is going to send up a rescue craft up there, charge Boeing and the government to go save those astronauts, and then get them back down to Earth so they can chill with their families. Oh, imagine telling your wife, yeah, I'm going to be gone for just about a couple weeks. Then you're going to be trapped for like 3 months. Like, oh yeah, our ship crashed, baby. I'm so sorry. I'll get back down to you when I get back down to you. Like, it's insane. Oh, it's absolutely insane. Or everybody's afraid that Russia's about to take over the International Space Station, so they're getting ready to add more troops up there or something. Something incredibly insane, right? Something incredibly insane. And hey, AZ, right now Bitcoin's just going down, not because of any big particular news. If there was a news to tell you, it was basically some bad economic data as far as us, because it was good economic data for Europe, and the US dollar is going up bit by bit here. Let's get back up to the hourly chart, right? We're still heading up here. That's kind of giving Bitcoin a little bit more of a pause. Hopefully, if we're able to break down out of this uptrend here, Bitcoin gets a little bit of relief, you may say. But until then, yeah, that overall bearish momentum is still pushing Bitcoin down more and more and more. We're hoping that this week we find a bottom, I would say, but it doesn't look to be as likely just yet. We're going to have to wait for some type of news to signal, hey, inflation is getting lower, rates may be cut sooner or later, or something from Europe or Asia saying, hey, our currencies are going to get stronger because they're having good data, and that appreciates the value of the dollar basically over here. Like FX News, US dollar. Anything new here? This website is no longer intended for residents. I'm not a US resident. Why not? That is wild. Maybe I should have read everything, but yeah. 21, 23. This is real-time news, but it's from 2020. It's from yesterday. Let's see. Real-time news. Let's see. No, this is all just random bullshit. It's not actually news, I would say. So, you know, maybe Bitcoin gets a thought, get some help out of here. Now we got to see if we can have a higher low and if it pops up from there. SpaceX to the rescue is crazy. I mean, but what else are they gonna do? Well, I mean, what else can Boeing do if not go up and save space and save Boeing's ass? I don't understand. Like, what? There's nothing else. Is NASA gonna do it without anybody else? No, NASA can't do crap without a SpaceX these days. Boeing spacecraft, yeah. I don't like the background of that. Wired, The Hill, Telegraph. Okay, maybe a live science is the best. I just hate really bright backgrounds. Astronauts stranded in space due to multiple issues with Boeing's Starliner, and the window for a return and flight is closing. Right? NASA and Boeing engineers are troubleshooting various faults in the Starliner's spacecraft, but with only 45 days of docking time available, the window for return is closing. Right? So, two NASA astronauts who rode in orbit on Boeing's Starliner are currently stranded in space aboard the International Space Station after engineers discovered numerous issues with the Boeing spacecraft. Teams on the ground are now racing to assess Starliner status. Astronauts Butch Wilmore and Suni Williams are originally scheduled to return to Earth on June 13th. It's June 23rd. But their stay has been extended for a second time due to the ongoing issues. The astronauts will now return home no sooner than June 26th, according to NASA. That's 3 days. After years of delays, Boeing's Starliner capsule successfully blasted off on its inaugural crewed flight from Florida's Cape Canaveral Space Force Station at 10:52 a.m. Right? You know, I'm not going to go into the rest of the story, but yeah, I mean, like, SpaceX saved Boeing. I mean, it's on CBS, but there's nothing about them getting back. Let's see. Yeah. I guess the issue is the helium leakage. What do you do in that? What do you do? There's nothing you can do. You're just like, please God, let me find my way back down to Earth. I don't want to be stranded in space. That'd be one of the worst experiences you could do. You know, imagine being stranded out in space. That's not how you want to go out, guys. That's just not what you want to be doing with your life. It's almost the 4th of July. They were going to be back with their families for barbecues and stuff, telling all the crazy stories. Now they're going to be in space during the 4th of July. They can't even drink a beer up there. You know what I mean? It's a rough time, guys. It's a rough time for them. I would not want to go on the next flight with Boeing or anything like that. I'd just be like, nope. No more Boeing, no more NASA. Let's just stick with SpaceX. SpaceX only. You know? SpaceX has it going on for them. I'd love to see the invoice. Oh God, that would be the craziest there. I wonder what the cost would be per an astronaut. Probably like $1 million easy. I mean, easy $1 million. And that's not even including, like, that's just the ticket. That's not the actual, like, hey, here's the price for the fuel, you know, getting everything back in order. You know, luckily SpaceX, they have the rockets that kind of really land themselves, so it's saving a little bit more money. But yeah, honestly, I feel like, I don't know, Boeing should just kind of hold off on their space program. If Boeing is going to focus on space, they should focus on space weaponry. That's what they should do. But I'm almost wondering if SpaceX will go into the military-industrial complex as well. I mean, if SpaceX gets into that really heavy military situation where they're making the weapons, I mean, not just the rockets, but I mean everything around those weapons, ooh, the government's going to shower them with so much money. The only thing I'm not happy about with Elon Musk, though, you know, I wish he would have made it public at like $50 million market, 100, so everybody had the opportunity to buy in a long time ago and kind of ride the wave. Can't ride the wave because it's private. It's not, you know, it's private. It's like the Martian in real life, and you need to be you need the Chinese to come to your rescue. They better learn to plant some potatoes now. Oh man, I hope not. It's been just a crazy time, guys. Yeah, you just kind of have to laugh. Like, at least everybody's safe right now, but like, it was pushed back so many times because they knew the ship was having problems. They knew it wasn't ready. They took off, it blasted off, it went into space. Oh, we're having more issues up there too. They dock, oh no, now we're having more issues before we have to fly back down. Just not what you're looking for, guys. Not what you're looking for. Yo, is Bitcoin going up? It's trying to right now, but it doesn't look promising. Remember, as much as we look at these smaller time frames, the larger time frames still matter more. So if you look for the very long-term one, we're definitely going up over time. That's the easy one. We've always been going up. The medium term right now with the weekly charts and stuff like that, we're definitely just going sideways here. Sideways. And we're at the bottom range of that sideways, you know, rectangle, if you will. But we're not at the very, very bottom just yet. On the daily chart, we're definitely much more bearish. Sorry, guys. My eyes are killing me right now. I don't know why. But we're definitely more bearish in the short term here. Much more bearish. It's funny when you think of the daily charts as being the short-term option. I mean, Boeing has sent the thing off with all types of leaks and issues like, hey, let's just fly. Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's basically what they did. And you know what? And NASA let them do it. The government let them do it, you know? Because they're trying to balance out SpaceX. SpaceX is starting to lead in everything when it comes to space right now. They're doing a very, very good job. But the government, again, remember, this is a Democratic, you know, administration. Obviously, they don't like Elon Musk all too much. Elon Musk is a very outspoken person. He may like you, he may hate you, but my God, he's going to tweet about you. Right? And so obviously, you know, they're trying not to give all of that money over to SpaceX and makes Elon Musk even more of a wealthier guy. But, you know, what else can they do at this point? SpaceX is the leader. They are that gold standard right now. And they're not going to go away from that standard for any time soon. You know, I mean, can you guys remember the first time you saw those rockets come back down and they like actually landed themselves after like a lot of times of crashing and failing and crashing and blowing up and stuff like that? You know, I was like, damn, wow, we are getting to some cool shit right now, because I didn't think about it like that. I thought about it as, oh my God, what if those rockets never actually detached from the spaceship and the ship kept on going? What if they were able to use that to land on another planet? Like all that type of crazy stuff that I don't understand what was going through my mind, that type of stuff. And hey, USA, thanks very much for the super chat. Do I think Doge is going to hit 1 and Shiba hit 0.001? I think Doge has a good chance of hitting $1 this round. It's going to be, again, hard, but I don't think it's impossible. Really, it just depends on what the rate cuts look like. the way I describe it is, I think it'll hit one. I don't think it'll stay up there for long. Kind of like last time. It's going to be a quick spike and done. I'm going to be waiting for that one. As far as Shiba hitting 0.001, I don't really look at Shiba too much for that type of stuff. So you're saying 3 zeros. Another 400%. I think it's possible, but I'm not entirely sure the situation of which that would occur because of how fast the thing moves up. It would have to trudge back up towards like 0.000 through like 4 zeros and 3 up to that level of resistance over here, and then have one gigantic breakout after that. That'd be a very hard thing for it to do because of the way it's been pumping up in the past. I would say they can both happen, but the market caps of those levels are going to be massive, massive. So that, you know, definitely be mindful of what's happening during those times. And there we go. We got that higher low right now, trying to bounce. It's trying to work out. We'll see if our imaginary stop loss gets hidden or not. Let's see. Sold to be safe and hoping to catch the wave up. You're not the only person that did a lot of that stuff. Okay, what's the matter with you? You need to use the bathroom or something like that? Oh, he wants to play. Okay, yeah, that's fine. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on right now, guys. It's I'm trying to see. Turbo is popping off a little bit more here on the 5-minute chart. Look at that. Find a bottom. Dude, when this thing gets going, Turbo is a really good day trading stock. I don't know if you guys like it or not. It's on Fairdesk and Blowfin, I know for right now. Yeah, but it's still working out. There you go. Alright, but I'm going to end the stream right here, guys. If Bitcoin starts getting a little more bearish, I'll definitely hop on a little bit later on tonight. This is usually my day off, but I'm putting this back into the work zone, if you will. So again, if something starts to get a little bit more sassy, whatever you want to call it, droppy, crazy, I don't know, my brain is off like I told you guys before. I'll be sure to come back live. Right now, it seems like we're trying to slow down just a little bit. It's not the biggest of slowdowns. I'm not confident about this at all. We took an imaginary buy because I didn't want to do a real buy, but I can see us trying to break above that 20-day moving, or that 20 moving average a little bit later on for something of a short-term pop, maybe back up here towards like 63,700, which is not even $1,000 move. But that's like the best I can see happening right now for those people that want a long, and those that want a long, yeah, it's gonna be much more of a harder chance, right? So I'll see you guys a little bit later. I'm going to take Loki outside. He definitely wants to go outside and play. Let me show you guys him very fast. Loki. Oh. Where's Loki at? He even has his toy ready to go. Yeah, so see you guys a little bit. Well, maybe in a little bit. I don't know. But I will see you guys tomorrow from 5